Giants, I got to change my pick now, ladies and gentlemen, because I told you guys that I will never, ever, ever pick a team that is led by Josh McDaniels. And as of a couple days ago, he was the head coach of the Raiders, so that would automatically be a loss to whoever they played. Well, Mark Davis finally came to his senses, and he fired the GM, and he fired Josh McDaniels. Now, story time with Jesse Holley. Because I've come on this program many, many, many times, and I've told you that I will never, ever, 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 ever pick a team that is led by Josh McDaniels to win anything. And that is personal. And that Josh McDaniels should have never had another head coaching job in the National Football League. He shouldn't have had the first one he got, but he did. I get, all right, first time. You Belichick disciple, you maybe think that thing. No. He bombed in Denver. He ran back to daddy. And then he got another job. Y'all should have kept Rich Bisaccia. Took that team to the playoffs. But you went and you got Josh McDaniels, and what did he do? Destroyed another franchise. I hope and pray that he never gets an opportunity to be a head coach in the National Football League again. I'm not saying that he can't feed his family. He should never lead a team again. Josh McDaniels, and this is why it's personal for me. I told you guys I spent a small amount of time. I had a cup of coffee in New England. And one thing about me is I stand on the principle of respect. I don't care what position you're in. Everyone deserves a level of respect. And Josh McDaniels is one of those people who are just bad humans, who doesn't respect everybody, who doesn't treat everybody. You don't have to treat me like a star. I'm not a star. You ain't got to tell me. I know that. But I'm a man. And when you begin to treat me less than a man, I'll hate you. And so while it's personal for me when it comes to Josh McDaniels, on many different occasions during my time in New England, in front of other men, Josh McDaniels would tell me to shut up. Like, shut up. I'm like, who are you talking to? Like, many times, shout out to my guy, Matthew Slater, who is a veteran in New England, has been there forever. Matthew Slater will be in the Patriots Ring of Honor. And there were many a times that Matthew Slater had to kind of talk me off the ledge because I was ready to go at him. And just a constant, and if you know me, if there's any of my coaches that are watching this, you can coach me hard. Like you can coach me hard. I've never been a soft dude about nothing. You can coach me hard. You can push me hard. You can even kind of, you can challenge me. You can sometimes even make me an example if it meant that it was going to help the betterment of the group. Can't disrespect me. And I don't think Josh McDaniels took advantage of that. Not just me, other people as well. And this is why everywhere he goes, he doesn't have a good locker room. Everywhere he goes, you never hear him talk. You never hear players talk about him in a very high regard, unless they're just like him, unless they're a-holes just like him. Every place that he's been, the locker room has been a bad locker room. Check the stats. Has been a fractured locker room. Every team that he has led, there has been a fractured locker room because his leadership stinks. He doesn't know how to talk to men. He doesn't know how to be around men. He's an insecure little man who was given a position of power. And when you give insecure people, when you give insecure men leadership power over men, they think the only way to sustain and keep that power is to keep belittling the men around him. Not in this league. And this is why every team that he goes to stinks. Because the men in that locker room aren't willing to give everything they got for him. And I know some of you are going to say, well, as a head coach, not as an OC, well, they get paid a lot of money and da-da-da-da-da. Miss me with that. The NFL is built of a bunch of alpha males who will eventually convince themselves to follow another alpha. Quarterback, head coach. And how you do that is by treating that other alpha with the respect of an alpha from an alpha. Because if two alphas can look themselves in the face and understand that, hey, we're going for the same goal, but you're leading us to get there, then as an alpha, I can concede my alphaness and follow you. I'm still an alpha in my role, but I'm allowing another alpha to lead me. Whether that be a position coach, a head coach, a player on that side of the ball. Everybody's an alpha. Everybody in the NFL is an alpha male. They were the best at where they were at. Go back to their high school. They're probably the best high school player in Timbuktu. The best high school player in Roselle, New Jersey. In the state of New Jersey. At North Carolina. In the ACC. In the National Football League. Been an alpha. Now I'm in the pen with a bunch of other alphas. But when the man who is by design, by job position, as head coach, by position to lead other alphas, is not an alpha and is an insecure man, and you treat the other alphas as if they're not alphas, with the level of respect that an alpha desires and needs, you lose us. And that's why every place that he goes where he's the leader, they suck. Because he's a bad leader. And for me, it's always going to be personal with Josh McDaniels. Always. Always. You don't treat men like that. Go ask anybody that's been in the locker room with him. With him being the head coach. Bad dude. Shout out to Antonio Pierce, who now is the interim head coach for the Raiders. Pretty interesting. Antonio Pierce, where did he get his rocks off? Linebacker of the New York Giants. Who was the first game that Antonio Pierce will coach as the Raiders' new interim head coach? The New York Giants. So pretty cool game. I'm taking the Raiders in this one. They got that bum out of there. I'm taking the Raiders over the Giants. I'm taking the Raiders over Giants in Vegas.